I know sleep regressions suck, but they don't last forever. If you're wondering why they happen and what we can do to help your child get through them, then stay tuned for this video. The title of this video is about the 8-month sleep regression, but truth be told, this sleep regression can take place anywhere between 7 and 10 months. It really depends on your child's mental and physical development. This sleep regression is directly correlated with separation anxiety, also known as object permanence. Once your child discovers that even when you walk out of the room, you still exist, they're going to develop some separation anxiety. I definitely feel like the term separation anxiety is very strong. In today's culture, we really throw around the word anxiety as if it's just something like everybody has anxiety. Like, yes, we all have stress, but we need to differentiate good stress and bad stress and how we can get through this separation anxiety with our babies. So rule of thumb with any sleep regression at all, it should only last a few weeks. Generally, sleep regressions last about 2 weeks. They can last up to 4. That is a little bit more rare, but it's not impossible. The best thing that you can do for your baby during any sleep regression at any age is to stick to your routines. Before I jump into any more tips about dealing with sleep regressions, I want to make sure that you are set up for successful and healthy sleep habits for your child. So go down to the description box and download my free baby sleep guide. This guide is full of information that you need to make sure that you are laying the foundation of healthy sleep to last your child's entire life. So make sure you have all those ducks in a row, and then we can get through the sleep regression. So my first tip on dealing with this specific sleep regression when it comes to separation anxiety and object permanence is that you should lengthen your bedtime routine. This means that maybe you add 5 to 10 minutes of special face-to-face time with your baby so that maybe you're singing songs, maybe you're just talking about your day, you're listening to your sweet baby babbles, and you're having that conversation with them. The next thing you can do is practice separation during the day. Now, whether your child is going to daycare or if your child is at home with you, you can practice this separation anywhere you are. So let's say that you are a stay-at-home mom and you stay home with your baby and you really are with your baby 24/7 pretty much. You can practice separation by doing things like going into the kitchen for a couple minutes and saying, Mommy's gonna go in the kitchen and get lunch ready, I'll be right back. So you're going away for a couple minutes. It doesn't have to be a long time, but you actually go. And even if your baby starts to whine and cry a little bit, you still stay away. You let them discover that even though you go away, that they're gonna be okay and you are going to come back. When you do return, whether it's from a trip to the kitchen or a trip to the grocery store, make sure that you make a big deal about being back. Yay, Mommy's back. Just like I told you, here I am, hugs and kisses, la-di-da, go on with your day. The next tip that I have for you is to play games like peekaboo. This is going to help your child understand the concept of, I can't see you, now I can, I know you're still there. This can be played while your baby is in the high chair. Granted, do not do it while your baby is eating or actively having food in their mouth because you don't want them to choke. But when your child is closer to your level, so if they're up on a high chair, then you will be able to be more face-to-face with them. Alternatively, you can play this game on the floor with your child when you are sitting down on the ground with your child. But you want to make sure that your faces are at equal levels. Now, another thing that you want to do, if everything else has not been working and your baby is still having a lot of wake-ups during the night and a lot of sleep struggles, is to just revisit your schedule. Around 8 months old is when your baby can drop from 3 naps to 2 naps if they haven't already. So revisit their wake windows, revisit their nap schedule, their bedtime, and all of your child's schedule-related nap times, bedtime, all of that, and make sure that it's age appropriate. I don't like to jump into schedule shifts or changes until we know that you're out of the sleep regression and that your child can actually have a full night of sleep uninterrupted. That being said, my next tip is to really decipher if your child is going through physical milestones, developmental milestones, or what they really might be trying to accomplish. A lot of sleep regressions will happen when your baby is learning to crawl. Maybe they're pulling to standing up. Maybe they're starting to cruise along the furniture. Different things are happening, and as these things happen in both your child's brain development and physical development, it can lead to a sleep regression. Quick little side note, if your baby is pulling up to standing, 9 times out of 10, you're going to discover this for the first time when you get them up for the morning or when you get them up for a nap, and your baby is standing there in the crib. You've never seen them do it before, but they're standing there, all smiles, ready for you to get them, and you're like, oh my gosh, I've never seen you stand before. So, disclaimer, make sure that once your baby is getting up on all fours, on hands and knees, make sure you're lowering that crib mattress, because once they're up on all fours, they can definitely start pulling themselves up to standing. So just get ahead of it and lower the crib mattress as soon as you see them up on all fours. The next tip is to make sure that you are not developing any new habits. Don't start rocking your baby to sleep if you haven't been doing that all along. Don't start feeding to sleep if that is a new habit. Do not start new habits during sleep regressions. You need to stay consistent. And with that being said, my last tip for you is that you need to stay consistent with your response to night wakings. So when your child wakes in the middle of the night, if your original sleep training method, or even if you didn't do sleep training but you have a certain way of addressing your child or taking care of them when they wake up in the middle of the night, make sure that you continue doing exactly what you've always been doing when they wake up during a sleep regression. This is not the time to think, oh, maybe you're really hungry and I need to nurse you to sleep. If your baby's really hungry, go ahead and nurse. Make sure they stay awake so that when they get back in the crib, they can fall asleep independently. If you previously had a response where if your baby wakes up crying, you go in, you do a wellness check, you make sure everything is okay, and then you leave again, and then they fall asleep on their own, continue doing that. Yes, sleep regressions might mean that you're doing this for a longer amount of time during the night, but I promise it's short-lived. You can always have another coffee or an energy drink or something to get you through the day, but this is short-lived. If you know of any families who might be going through the 8-month sleep regression, then please share this video with them and encourage your friends that more sleep is just around the corner. There is light at the end of the tunnel, and this sleep regression does not last forever. If you enjoyed this video, click this button over here to subscribe to my channel. Click this playlist over here for more baby sleep tips, and keep blooming. Mwah!